You're watching Experience Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I had this whole cool, fun, avant-garde cold opening all ready and planned for all the people who aren't watching. But it went out the window because it's been a while. But Mike in the 11th hour, Fat Jack himself, rolled up and dropped off a bunch of small boxes, and he said, "I've got a new collection. Do something with it." And I went, "Mike, I have an hour before the show, and I have all of these war books and Western books that I'm going to sell for $1 or $2 or $3. And he goes, "Stop giving away my books and sell some keys." And I went, "All right, Mike, let me just do a quick little peruse." And I found some fun stuff, and that will be the first stuff that we talk about tonight. We'll also tease a couple other things that are in that collection that will most likely, if Mike doesn't take them to Jersey before I have a chance of getting my grubby hands on them, a lot of that stuff will pop up next week. But until then, we have some fun spotlight books tonight that I did not have until about an hour ago. And then after that, we will waste everyone's time who decided to watch us instead of watching football or Black Panther or whatever. And we will attempt, when I say we, I mean me, while Jason laughs at me, we'll attempt to sell you a bunch of war books and Western books in honor of Veterans Day or Veterans Weekend, or the fact that our republic has withstood for at least another day.
In honor of just marking out Wordman? Is that basically what we're doing?
Well, the problem is, so at this point, I'm getting the impression, Jason, say hi to everybody as you walk by. There you go. Good. There you go. Everyone gets to see Jason's back. Because Jason's back. It would have worked a couple weeks ago, but still, it still kind of works. But I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. We lost Zanin and Wordman tonight.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. Don't say lost.
Okay.
Don't say lost.
All right, my apology. They're not with us tonight, but only tonight.
They're not going to be here tonight.
They are still alive. They still exist.
They're not with us. No.
Gary has lived in Brooklyn now for almost 10 years.
10 years?
10 years.
10?
And every time someone comes to visit New York, they go, "Gary, I need you to be my tour guide." And Gary's like, "What do you think I am, Kramer? Is this the Kramer bus tour?" Actually, that would be really funny.
It should be. It really should.
In fact, Gary came up with a great idea. He's like, "I should do a bus tour."
Do it. Why not?
And I said, "Gary, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'll be the driver, and then you can talk. And every now and again, when you say something I don't agree with, I'll get on the other mic
and just
say,
"You're wrong." Yeah,
You're
great.
wrong.
It's a great idea.
Because, dude, you haven't seen a good argument over opinions than when Gary and I have conversations about Cyclops. That's a quintessential one. Because the same passion that Gary and I have while watching the Phillies, where we bully everybody else, when we turn on each other, it is vicious. But it's a good time. So all my war and Western books are probably just gonna go over people's heads as they're like, "Do you have any Ultimate Fallout 4s?" I'll be like, "No." And they'll be like, "Do you have any Fantastic Four 52s? No." "Do you have any Shuri #1s? No." What are you mouthing?
Forget it.
On that note, never forget, we sell comics. Literally every
Jason's
time I
added so
think.
much to the chat, and nope,
Yeah, it's like,
and nothing.
there's always these moments.
That's what my ex-girlfriends always say. You add nothing to everything.
Because every time I doubt myself, which is especially about this show,
And then you look at me.
it's
like, oh.
every moment until we actually go live. I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I doing
And
this?
then you look over at me. You're like, he can
And then
be worse.
And I
He
look
can be
over
worse.
and I go, it's for Jason. I'm doing this for Jason. Because I don't know what he brings to the equation.
Not a damn thing.
How you doing, Mr. Bishop? Always a pleasure to see you. And no, Kyle, no. We will not bully my boy Scott, the put-upon older brother who's got to take care of the younger brother. The one who's got to be responsible for everybody. The one...
Okay. Can we bully the one that spells Cyclops with a P at the beginning?
Who does that?
Nobody.
One of the villains in the early Fantastic Four is Cyclops.
Oh, yeah. What? Was that during the Lee Kirby run?
Yeah, it was Cyclops.
Cyclops.
And so I got it in my brain and it stuck there, and I spelt Cyclops as in Scott Summers Cyclops wrong for years.
Interesting.
Both intentionally and unintentionally. It became like
You
a
weren't
tick.
a big fan of Greek mythology either.
No, I prefer the Romans to the Greeks in terms of their mythology.
The Romans. You prefer the conquerors. Look at this guy over here.
No, I prefer the ones where everyone was sleeping with everyone else.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of... And if we're going to get really deep about it, those,
The Egyptians.
Now we don't go there.
Like,
we don't... Let's just be honest. Okay, what might be acceptable in the past, there's a reason why it's not acceptable anymore. A la... minors can't consent.
Wrong word.
What's the word I should be looking for? Oh, sorry. I did say the wrong word.
Like, it's not. You could have chosen a better phrase.
I could have chosen a better phrase.
Then the two words ah and la.
For an Asian guy.
See, Jason, you talked over Kyle.
Sorry, Kyle.
Kyle had something to share, and you talked over.
I was pointing out that what you actually said was two words and not one word, and that Jason is wrong because English.
I'm
just saying.
A la dumbass.
Webster's Dictionary, bitch.
We're going. Listen. If we're doing text over type.
Did you say text over type?
Yeah.
Text over type.
Text. You can contextualize over typing.
But you said text over type, not context. Like text is and type kind of go hand in hand because you're typing text. Context.
No,
context is a different word than text. Just because text is in context doesn't make it the same word.
This is gonna be a weird show tonight, guys.
Oh, it's already off to just a banner start. Just a banner start. All right, so here we go. Let's 20, 80, 20. What are you? What?
Anyway,
All right, sorry everybody. Every now and again, I can't fully understand why Jason mouths words to me. Like,
I'm so happy this is the one show that's like, I haven't gone off the rails until now. So thank you.
I mean, we're like not even 5 minutes into it.
Oh, we're
we're like 10 minutes
we'll
into
make
it.
it work. We'll make it work.
We'll make it work. All right. I'm pretty sure nobody's watching. Mr. Bishop's hanging out with us, so at least we got you and Kyle. So at least there's 4 of us. That's fun, you know. Oh, Mr. Burrows, what's up, buddy? Mr. Burrows has been. Where were you, man? Were you up in Massachusetts? He was traveling. Yeah, I get to see when my customer friends are traveling through the Fat Jack's Instagram page. That is slowly making me very sad.
Why does it make you sad?
I don't know, man, because life makes me sad.
Did you?
Were you not around for last week's show?
But it should be good now. Like we're good.
Well, because
For a little bit, for like 2 years.
a white Christian nationalist got 42% of the vote in Pennsylvania. All right, that's all you need to know.
People are stupid.
The Republic holds up for one more day,
People
but
are stupid. The Republic. Just.
My girlfriend's very upset this week because everyone is decrying that crypto is finally over. Hey, what's up, Mr. Hunter? Man, he's saying good day, people.
Oh,
He's saying hello to us.
Fred's on there.
Fred's here? No, not Fred. Who's this Fred guy that everyone's
Last week's
talking
mad,
about?
this week's sad. Screw you, Fred.
Here's the funny thing. Yo, Kyle, I don't know if I should refresh my feed.
Next week's going to be...
I'm not seeing any of the
acceptance.
comments. I'm not seeing any of the comments.
Yeah, let's do this. Go ahead and refresh. Go ahead and refresh your feed, and we could just let people watch you reboot.
Oh, okay, all right. Here we go, folks. Refreshing the feed. Did I miss a good one?
So I already put it in there, but the playlist from last week is in there.
Oh, yeah, the playlist is in. My boy Roland finally came through. I mean, he still has not done I went to the New York Comic Con and all I got was Abandoned in Trenton mix yet.
Oh, did I tell the story about being abandoned in Trenton?
No, but hold on to that story.
Okay.
But I have a good news for the people who don't have the Spotifys.
Sure, what?
The playlist will soon be able to be accessed through the brand new Experience website that we just built.
Oh, okay. Now, how exactly does that work? Does it link to the Spotify that no one can get to, or do you recreate the playlist?
I can import the Spotify playlist into multiple different music services that are all shared through there.
Sweet! And I don't have to do it. Yes!
Well, we're gonna hope it works. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Wix's coding that well, but we'll give it a shot.
Great, man. Well, Mr. Burrows, I hope you had a wonderful time up in the Berkshires, and I hope that we can entertain you.
Yeah, no.
It's questionable.
It's the dog in the background. You feel like, oh, there's sound.
I gotta be honest, there's a lot of debate in my head. Is this entertaining?
For me it is.
Yeah, I know. Like
Kyle's basically got gun in his head the whole time. You just gotta do it because you get paid for it.
No, whoa, hold on. You think I'm doing this because I get paid? Is that why you think this is happening? Because I'm getting paid. Oh, yeah. That's why I do it. No, I do it because every now and again, Zanin goes, hey, man, I really enjoyed the show last week. I go, oh, my God, someone liked something I did. Oh, the tortured artist that I've ignored for the past 15 years of my life. Oh, my God, I actually want validation from people for
the 3 minutes. Thank you.
Yes. No, the real reason is because people buy books. You know, people are like, let me just see what this idiot is selling. Oh, I'm not interested in any of this. I'm out. Speaking of which, if you're not interested in anything up here, don't worry, because if you thought I wasn't pulling $1, $2, and $3 books out of my butt tonight, well, guess what? You were wrong. The only thing you should have been right about is you got it. They're war in Western comics. A lot of war in Western.
Woodman in the chat.
What's that? Woodman?
Gary's
not in the chat.
Don't do Westerns without him.
Wordman's not here. I can't. Do you know how weird that is? That I'm like, oh, I can't roll these books out this week because the one person I think who might buy it
is not gonna be here.
Isn't here. Because it feels like I'm being manipulative. Yeah, I gotta be honest, I'm very uncomfortable with that pattern. Like, I can't do that. Like, I'm gonna roll out Jimmy Olsen's and Lois Lane's. Zanin's not here, and the only person who wants to buy Jimmy Olsen's and Lois Lane's is not here right now. So, Oh, by the way, if anyone's watching who's never seen this before and doesn't know how this works, let me know.
It doesn't work.
And then I'll tell you.
It doesn't work.
I'll tell you. I didn't talk about it last week, but another reason why I was kind of depressed, and obviously my depression usually manifests itself as self-righteous anger. Okay, when you know I'm really, really sad, it's not because I'm a sad little boy. No, I'm yelling and screaming and using absolute language. I start to speak in generalizations.
You're nothing but absolutes.
I cross off everything with a huge 8-foot brush of patronizing condescension. That's when you know my heart is broken. Because my boy, Al's leaving us for good.
What? No.
Yeah, Al. No. Just so we're clear, Al's I'm making his business a little too public, but I've decided, what's the point of this if I don't show transparency? But he and his beautiful wife are doing the right thing for them.
It's fuck us, right?
And, oh yeah, see, Jason, see. No, they're moving up to Maine. It's time for the next.
Maine, oh my God!
It's time for the next portion of their life. And even though Al and I barely hang out because I'm a terrible friend, you can vouch for that. We literally live blocks from each other and barely see each other. But
we see each other.
Broke my heart a little, especially because it means there'll be no more he won't just pop up, on the show. And who the heck is going to clean up when the show's done? Who is going to support me on Mondays and Tuesdays when I go, oh yeah, email, but I'm not going to look at the email. I never look at the emails. I set up the emails for the show. I've never looked at them once. So anyone wants to stop in, especially on a Tuesday, for the next couple weeks? I think Al's last day is maybe the second week of December.
So Al died.
No, he did not die. First of all, his ghost is still here. He just doesn't talk. And who knows? For all I know. Okay, yes. Thank you, Mr. Burroughs. It's all about selling comics. The thing that
Al died.
No, he did not die.
Burroughs, they're up there the whole time. Al died.
I'm just sad about it, okay? I'm just sad.
Can we have it in memoriam?
I'm just sad, all right?
Can we all wear black next week?
No, but you know what? We should. Oh, everybody who's watching right now.
We do it in memoriam.
I'm going to know it'll probably be the first Sunday in December. Let us do an Al roast / memorial.
Oh, yeah.
And if you want, make up stories about Al. Who cares? Just make up stories. And I will tell stories of when Al and I used to go out late at night together, and you'll have to figure out if they're real or not.
Most of them could be real.
Actually, a lot of them. In fact, thanks for giving away the joke. They were all going to be real, but I was going to be curious. But Al will always come out looking good in every story. I'm the one who always came out looking bad. Mr. Bishop, thank you for being a compassionate, empathetic human being and not a child like Jason and I. Yeah, I don't know, man. It broke my heart. I was like, no.
That's. I don't know that.
No. Well, yeah, because I kept it close to the vest for 1 week.
That guy.
But Henry told everybody. So at that point, I was like, well, cat's out of the bag. So I don't have to, hold back.
That other guy.
But that is a great idea. Everyone start thinking about it, okay? The first Sunday show in December, we're going to have an in memoriam Al episode.
Do you have a picture of him? Can we put it on the side?
I will find one.
Yes.
I will find one. Maybe I'll.
Kyle, can you do a sidebar with just his picture? like
Maybe.
taking over the whole time.
Kyle, I will send you photos that I have of Al. Let's see if we can.
Yes.
Like every couple of minutes or so, or every time a book gets claimed,
It comes up.
a picture
like
of crying Al comes
it
up.
should be like the Mortal Kombat, where it's like, whoopsies, it's just Al coming over,
It's Al coming,
claimed.
Yeah. There it is. Sorry, we're closed. Hey, what's up, bud? Hey, what's happening? What's that? Wait, no, I'm like live. I'm on a live stream show. Jason, could you just make sure, like, is he dropping something off, or does he want to? It's after 4 o'clock. Yeah, we're closed, bud. Sorry, man. This is the fun thing about doing a live stream.
What's that? Wolverine? Trying to buy a Wolverine.
Well,
Come back tomorrow.
yeah, no, Tuesday, man. I'm sorry, bud. Like,
Tuesday.
yeah, we ran out the register, all that kind of stuff. Wait, we got a playlist? I missed a song. See, again, Al was always great at handling that, too. So I could just ignore everything.
The Weird Al show theme by Weird Al.
All right. Weird
Weird
Al
is the best movie out this week.
show theme
The Weird Al show theme by Weird Al.
by Weird Al. Wait, who's it by?
Was that the one that...
It's by Duran Duran.
What?
What was it?
All right, hold on. Before we continue, we literally got a question about an actual comic book.
Yeah, he's trying to buy books.
And I babbled for almost a half an hour. So let's just, all right. So real quick, let me just give a little context here. So about an hour before the show, before we went live, my boy, Fat Jack himself, Mike, rolled up and said, "Here you go, Brendan. I got you a collection. You've been bitching and whining for weeks.
Will not stop complaining about
Just
not
you
selling
wouldn't shut
dollar books. I can't sell them."
I know. I was like, "Mike, how many dollar books can I sell?" And Mike's like, "Here you go. Try to sell these." And then I went, "Mike, these books are too expensive. How is anyone going to afford them?" No, that didn't happen. All right, but okay, so now I only had a little bit of time to root through some of the collection. Now, most of it is, it's a small collection, so don't get too crazy. If you're looking for Amazing Spider-Mans or Batmans, or no, Batman doesn't count because there's a bunch of Batman books up here. I don't know, whatever.
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, no Ghost Riders. There's no Johnny Blaze over here, okay?
Johnny Blaze.
But what I did get an opportunity is I cherry-picked really quickly. And so we got my boy, John Constantine, and yes, that is the correct pronunciation. Tyne, not teen. All right, think fine. And I taught myself. I always called him John Constantine, and then I taught myself to call him John Constantine because I'm a compassionate human being, and I want a fictional character to have their name, pronounced correctly.
Well, is it Xfinity Live or Xfinity
Mr.
Live?
Bishop, if there's one character who is very sexy, it is definitely Batman, and it's definitely old man Batman. That's for sure. But all right. So, obviously, this person was a big fan of Alan Moore because now there's one book up here, but I'm pretty sure we have a full run of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing. Also, we have a bunch of Swamp Thing that preceded the Alan Moore Swamp Thing. Those will show up next week. We have a complete run of Alan Moore's Miracle Man. They'll show up next week. The only one that will not show up is issue 15, the one that everyone wants, because there's very few perks that I take from this job. But the fact that the one book I was missing in my complete Miracle Man collection, which I always thought I had, and then the other day I was looking through it and I went, "Oh my God, I don't have number 15. Well, now I do.
Screw you guys.
But if you're looking for some Miracle Mans, we're going to have them next week. Swamp Thing. What else was in there? There's some. Oh, Faust. Does anyone remember Faust? All right, get excited because we got some original early Tim Vigil Faust that'll be showing up next week. not tonight, next week. And I love everyone's like, all right, I will stop watching now, and I'll see you next week. All right, so we got Faust. Again, I didn't have a lot of time to really look through a lot of it. What's that?
Movie?
That movie is awful.
It's great.
Awful.
So, Mr. Burroughs, I assure you he's working up to showing you the book you asked about.
What was that about, Mr. Burroughs?
I assure you he's working up to showing you the book you asked about.
You
Because you said 5 minutes ago I rambled for a half an hour after we got asked about it, and then you rambled again. And I'm just waiting for you to show him so that I can ask about the Swamp Thing.
Okay, all right. How about this? Terrible at this. All right, Mr.
In
Burroughs.
Miracle Man 5, I need that Swamp Thing. Let's just get our priorities in order.
All right. Let's get back to priorities. Okay. So, but hey, man, when's the last opportunity I had to be able to talk about my favorite fictional character, John Constantine? Literally the character that, like, most people when they're growing up, they're like, I want to be this guy, I want to be that guy. I spent my entire teenage years and definitely my 20s trying to be John Constantine. And if you've ever read a Hellblazer book, you might ask yourself,
why? What
is wrong with you, Brendan?
Why?
That is lunacy.
Is this a problem?
It is desperately a problem. Now, I haven't had a lot of big John Constantine keys, but I got the two biggest that popped up in this collection. I'm so excited. Not only am I excited, but it's great timing because guess who is back in the public consciousness? Because we've heard, obviously, we're a few weeks late from telling everybody this big breaking news. Because I know when people tune in, it's to hear news from 6 weeks ago.
Of course.
So Keanu Reeves is in the process of doing a second Constantine movie. Now, again, we're not here to debate if the casting of Keanu Reeves was good John Constantine casting.
It was.
Well, aesthetically speaking, it was not. It was literally like casting Tom Cruise as 5'2" little Tom Cruise as 6'5", 300-pound Jack Reacher. It's kind of like that. But he was excellent in the role. He was a blast.
That's what I was going to say.
It was a great movie. It was a good movie. So I'm just saying, when I heard about the sequel, I was like, good. All right. So these books evolved. What's that?
Who would play that?
Well, do you know? Just so we're clear, the first appearance of John Constantine, and I want to say something real quick because I take lots of shots at my buddy over here. Pretty much all the time, and I constantly, break his balls and stuff like that. I've always said that my collection has one glaring void, one glaring hole in it that I've always been a little annoyed at myself about having. Because again, John Constantine is like my favorite fictional character. I have a complete run of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, except for one issue. And I have no idea how it ever happened. And it was this issue. Issue number 37, the first appearance of John Constantine. And it always bothered me. And this is a very valuable book, especially lately. High-grade copies of this book are selling for around $400 to $500. But it's my boy, so good for him. All right, he ain't no $5 book. We ain't selling this for $3. There's no dollar book, that's for sure. But Jason, my good friend, and I have very few, we're walking home one night, and he got down on one knee.
Whoa.
And he pulled this little box out of his bag. And I went, Jason, I'm in a relationship, my friend. And he's like, oh, no, that's not what's happening here. And he pulled out a beautiful, gorgeous copy of Swamp Thing number 37, first appearance of John Constantine, and he handed that to me. And I went, Jason, it's raining. Why are you pulling this book out in the middle of a rainstorm? He's like, don't worry, man. It's all protected because love shields us. No,
it doesn't physically shield you.
No, but you gave it to me, and I said, "Oh, Jason, I can't really afford it. Oh, what do I owe you? How can I make it up to you?" Blah blah. Jason's like, "It's all good, bro." And I went, "Jason, come on, we don't talk like that, bros and stuff." But I just want to say this, I'm just taking this opportunity to thank you, Jason, in a public forum of maybe 5 or 6 people. And thank you very much for giving me that book, this issue, not this particular one, because I thought I would never see it again until today. So, in all fairness, this is a gorgeous copy of Swamp Thing number 37, but I graded it at a very fine plus because some people really annoyed me this week about grading. And so I've decided to lowball the grades even more than I used to so I can avoid a bunch of... Anyway, I'm sorry to say, but this is a $300 book. This is a super key nowadays. One of the biggest keys of the 80s. Definitely, DC's got a problem when it comes to the secondary market. But one problem they don't have is a John Constantine problem.
Well, it's also a big name writer that is very big named.
No. This is a special, iconic key.
That's a character that's going to go...
This is huge.
I mean,
he's a character who had a TV show. He shows up in a bunch of shows I'll never watch.
True, except for Sandman, which...
Well, no,
his gender thing. It's not gender thing. It's the family.
Yeah, because she's Joanna Constantine, a character who already existed.
Yes. It's a family thing.
Yes, I know.
But
all right. So anyway, first appearance of John Constantine. Yeah. Awesome.
I know I said I needed it, but I'm looking for a mid-grade copy.
No, I don't blame anybody. I got to be honest. This copy is... Yeah. This copy is gorgeous. Like, it's beautiful.
So, if nobody claims this, I will email Al/Brendan/ whichever whoever checks the email in the future about it when budgetarily it's more in the realm of possibility for me. So that is a really good price, though. I just held a graded one that they wanted 1,000 for.
See, okay. It's so right now. Let's be honest. Like, even at $300, I was kind of like, is this? But no. Yeah. I mean, again, when am I going to see this again? This is a book that at this point, like Kyle just said, you're going to start seeing graded copies. People are going to be asking for exorbitant amounts of money. All that kind of stuff. I'm just trying to be. Hey, dude, I give you every opportunity. Give you every opportunity. Like the whole time, I'm like, I'm going to have to owe this bastard for the rest of my life. Every time he calls me at 3 o'clock in the morning, drunk off his butt, I'm going to have to go save him.
I don't make phone calls at 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's okay.
My girlfriend.
We have that relationship. You can call me at 3 in the morning. Trust me, I'm probably
you don't
up.
Sleep.
Yeah, I don't sleep.
You text me at 4 o'clock. I'm like, what is he doing?
Yeah, well, having fun by myself. Because my girlfriend goes to sleep at like 9 o'clock at night. And I'm like,
and the Phillies just sucking.
Yeah. Anyway, so I do feel that I know $300 sounds like a lot of money because it is a lot of money. Let's not be fools about it. Some of these books, and it's been a while since I've had a book that could net that kind of price. But this is one of them. There it is.
That's an overwhelmingly fair price. Like, I'm shocked you're offering it that low.
You want to see it?
If I hadn't been an idiot about buying other comic book collectibles that I wanted,
right,
I would just be snapping it up right now and not being nice to everyone else. But instead, because I'm bad at money, I'm being magnanimous.
Yes. Now, Mr. Burroughs, I fully understand where you're like, wow, Brendan, that was really awesome talking about a book that is too expensive. So now we're going to move on to the next big John Constantine key in a book that, yes, I'm sorry to say, has been going up in value. It is Hellblazer #1. Probably one of, if not my favorite comic book series of all time. I love it. Now, this is a book that, like I said, has been going up in value, but again, I'm trying to find a nice, fair middle ground. So with that said, here we are, the very beginning of the longest running Vertigo series of all time, and no one else will ever beat it, considering Vertigo does not exist anymore, and I will never forgive you, DC, for that. But this is John Constantine in Hellblazer, #1 from January 1988, beginning the Jamie Delano run of my boy. Now, again, this is another one where I priced it, or I graded it at a very fine plus, but that is me just being a bit bitter at the relative nature of grading. So this is still a high grade. This is a beautiful copy, all right? And this is a book right now that is selling around $75 to $100, okay? But our copy here is $60, all right? So there we go. Also, another fun little bit of information to know about Hellblazer #1. It is the first appearance of Papa Midnight. Now, if you've never read the Hellblazer series, I want to inform you that Papa Midnight is probably one of the more popular characters to ever be introduced in the Hellblazer run. In fact, I'm trying to think if there's a first appearance in Hellblazer that is more important than Papa Midnight, and I can't think of anything. Maybe.
Is it also in this book, and is it Chaz?
That's a great question. I think Chaz. Did Chaz shoot? Oh my God! I'm so
This is
sorry
first
now.
Chaz.
Is it the first appearance of Chaz?
Yes. This is it. So to me, this book, and I'm gonna help you because I know you don't have your notes, so I'm looking these up for you as we go.
All right, no notes.
But like it's like Preacher #1, right? Where it's like, okay, yes, this is the first appearance of Preacher, but it's also the first appearance of all these other people.
Yeah,
This
Tula,
is
Kathy.
first solo Constantine,
Yeah.
first appearance of Papa Midnight, but it's also the first appearance of Chaz, Gary Lester, and like a bunch of people who come back a bunch of times in the Hellblazer series.
Right. Yeah, because
So,
I think a part of me like kind of convinced myself that Chaz pops up briefly during the Swamp Thing run. But now that you say that, it's obvious I'm wrong. And Chaz does feel like a Jamie Delano character, like a put upon British cab driver with a hag of a wife. Oh, by the way, if you've never read Hellblazer before, Jamie Delano did not like Margaret Thatcher at all, and is not a fan of the Tories political party. That's for sure. So anyway,
She's English. You should love her.
yeah, I know. But real quick, let me burn through these real fast because we have issues 1 through 5 of the Hellblazer series. And hey, check it out. It's the first cover appearance of Papa Midnight. This is a high-grade copy of issue #2 for $8. If you were unsure if everybody working on Hellblazer did not like Margaret Thatcher, this cover will give you the impression of what they felt about her, the Iron Lady, as she was normally referred to as. This is a very fine plus of issue #3 for $7. Issue #4. These are such beautiful, haunting covers. This is very fine at $6. And issue #5 of Hellblazer, very fine plus, $7. These first 5 issues were all written by Jamie Delano and illustrated by John Ridgway. And Mr. Burroughs, thank you. I try to be fair, you know, because I had a situation with a customer where a flaw in the printing of a book, it's something that it was not water damage. It's just the way that certain books would come off the press. I don't know if they wouldn't like dry properly or something, but they get those kind of like ripples. Again, it's not water damage.
It's
And it was a
bag
book.
It's a small bag too.
What's that?
If you put it in a small bag, you get those ripples.
Yeah, well, this wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. This wasn't that. And it's a book that's $50. And because of that, I priced it at $30. And somebody bought it, came back, and accused me of selling a water damaged book for too much money.
Huh.
And I was, anyway, that's, yeah.
Accused.
Mr. Burrows, you're looking for 14 and 15?
Is accused.
All right, 14 and 15. Yo, I'm going to write that down. We got a couple. I might actually have 14 and 15. So I will be on the lookout for you, Mr. Burrows. If I can find that, I'll talk to you later in the week. So I got that down. You're looking for 14 and 15, and I'm on the look. Jason, are you actually grabbing the Hellblazer one? Yeah. All right, Mike. You can't say I didn't do my job. I sold one book. Yeah. At least it wasn't $1 book.
Not yet.
So one of the fun things about when we have stuff like this on the show that I want to chime in is like Gary, who is only in the first 2 issues, which I had forgotten, comes up over and over and over again, but just as he keeps referencing my mate Gary throughout the series. And if you never read the first issues, you'd be like, what the hell?
Like, who is this guy? Yeah.
Right. So that's stuff like that I've forgotten since I've read Hellblazer.
Right.
And I get reminded of when you have cool books on the show that make me feel inadequate sometimes.
Well, it's okay. I won't make a self-deprecating joke. I gotta stop that. You know what? I think my shtick from now on is going to be overly confident, despite the fact that he doesn't deserve it, guy. That's what I'm going to do.
Do that. Yeah.
I'm the greatest of all time. All right, Reef the Sea Forever. Cool name. Nice. All right, so we talked about the Hellblazers. All right, I got to try to sell some books. Again, it's literally the mission statement, and I always seem to just ignore it. All right, so recently we were talking about sexy Batman.
Ew.
Oh, cool, man. Reef, you're talking about the Hellblazer run, right? Because I purge my collection all the time. And one of my prized runs is I have a complete Hellblazer run, all 300 issues, plus annuals, specials, mini-series. I love it. I adore it. I mean, I was, I think, 10 years old when I read my first Hellblazer comic, and I didn't fully understand what British politics in the 80s were like. I will say, actually, I wasn't a fan of the more mainstream Constantine hanging out with superheroes during the Rebirth phase, where I think his book was called, at one point I think it was called Constantine, and another time they brought it back as Hellblazer for a brief moment. But there was one run, I think it was from 2018, 2019. It only lasted 12 issues. I'm flaking on the writer now. It might have been Cy Spurrier or somebody, but it was John Constantine Hellblazer. It was 12 issues, and it was the closest thing to an actual Vertigo Hellblazer book at that time for almost 10 years. It was brief. Yes, the Garth Ennis run was a very badass. In fact, when most people remember or talk about Hellblazer, the one run that they usually are referring to is the Garth Ennis run. And that's another thing that was so special about the Hellblazer run. It was all broken up by these very particular, writers. And the cool thing about Constantine was the whole idea that every writer was able to sort of choose an aspect of Constantine and really lean into that. So every run, he was a very mercurial character, obviously, and every run was different from the one before, the one after, because of what the writer would focus on, but yet it always felt like the same character. You have Jamie Delano, then came Garth Ennis, then came Paul Jenkins, followed by Warren Ellis, followed by Brian Azzarello, the first American writer to write Constantine, followed by Mike Carey. And then there was, I'm flaking on her name, and I feel really bad. She's the only female writer to have written Constantine at that time. She was a novelist. She only did like a 12, 16 issue arc. And then came on Andy Diggle, and Peter Milligan closed it out with a couple little Jason Aarons in there. That was pretty fun. Yes, no. Brian Azzarello's run might be one of my favorite, because he wrote Constantine like he was a trickster god. Like, he was like, if anyone wants to read one of the best single like storylines that really sums up Constantine in a perfect way, it's Brian Azzarello's first story arc. It was 5 issues called Hard Time, illustrated by the great Richard Corbin. And it's the story where Constantine goes to an American jail, and you have no idea why he's there. And let me tell you, I don't know if it's the second or the third part, but there's a scene that ends where a bunch of dudes walk into a shower that John is hanging out, and then only one person walks out of that shower. And I'll tell you one thing, it was a pasty-faced British boy, that's for sure. It is a trip. And with that said, wow, I'm on fire. It's time for a break. And when we come back, we are going to actually get to comic books. I promise you. I apologize. I'm just babbling like a fool. But, when we get back, we'll talk about some Dark Knight Returns, some Watchmen, some V for Vendetta, and we'll have some fun. So, see you in a minute.
Get the inside scoop on everything happening at the Experience every week. Join our mailing list by scanning the QR code at the bottom of the screen and then watching your email inbox.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
Hi, this is Austin McKinley, artist for Tales of Mr. Ree with Dirk Manning. You're watching The Experience.
Welcome back.
Hi,
It's us. Oh, I don't think I ever told everybody who we are. We're Fat Jack's Comicrypt.
Jesus.
I mean, there's a little like title there, but and I've decided my new I'm the father of nothing. That's what I'm gonna go by from now on. Father of nothing.
Bojo? Bojo. No.
Bojo. Yeah.
Bojo no.
Boj.
Bojo no.
Phono. FOMO.
FOMO no.
All right, real quick. Jojo Shabadoo. Okay, good name. If you are, yes, you can absolutely claim the Swamp Thing. I don't know if you just joined us, but I'll let you know it is a beautiful high-grade copy. We got it here for $300. If you've never shopped with us before, if you are local to the Philadelphia area, you can pick it up here. or most likely, because that looks like a fake name, which is no problem, email us at fjccshow@gmail.com. We'll get your information, and if you need us to ship it to you, we'll ship it. If not, you can pick it up here at our Philly shop or at our Jersey shop. So, Mr. Shabadoo, you are walking away with a beautiful copy of Swamp Thing number 37, the first appearance of my boy, John Constantine. Time, you jack tool.
It's text, man.
All right, real quick, because all joking aside, let's take a moment. I imagine most of you are aware, this has been a really bad year for comic book creators, artists, people in the industry. We've lost a lot of wonderful, talented human beings. Obviously, the passing of Neil Adams, George Perez, Tim Sale. There's a bunch I'm probably not even thinking about. And this week, we had another 3 strikes, and we all lose something. Obviously, the threes, man. Sure as hell wasn't Aaron Carter, that's for sure. But for many of you who, again, I imagine all of you know this already, so I apologize for the qualifying statements. But we lost a brilliant artist, Kevin O'Neill. For most people, he is probably most known for the work that he's done, obviously, with Alan Moore, specifically the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen books. Just an absolutely brilliant artist. Again, his style was so unique, so different. Nobody is really like Kevin O'Neill, that's for sure. And it was a big loss, And the other one, that was another one who kind of came as a surprise, because I guess for a lot of us, we weren't aware of how sick he was, because it wasn't. What was it, about a month or two that Carlos Pacheco came out and said that he was retiring, and obviously a lot of people were very upset because his last cover was a Damage Control book where Ant-Man and Wasp were running on a gyro, and everyone hated it.
They're getting eaten.
They're getting eaten. I loved Carlos Pacheco, man. His 90s work, oh my God, Avengers Forever, his run on Fantastic Four, those issues he did with the X-Men. What were some others that I'm flaking on right now? I mean, obviously with Kurt Busiek. I mean, he did the Avengers Forever, but he did the Aerosmith.
That cover, I don't hate. Like, I don't understand why people hate that. It's very simple. It's a simple cover. Very simple cover.
He was okay. There are some artists who are just quintessential. Like, they are just perfect for the superhero genre. And Carlos was one of them. He looked like he was like a mix of like Neil Adams with Alan Davis.
Yeah.
Like just such a clean style, but like great compositions, great figure work, so dynamic.
Which is why that book, that Damage Control, is a great book. It's very clean. It's you have 2 characters on a burrito and a mouth. Like,
I know.
more to it. It's very simple.
I know it's simple, but it's just like when you think of how dynamic so much of his artwork, I understand why some people were upset that it was his final cover. But here's the problem: we as fans and in the industry were not aware of how sick he really was, and he finally passed away this week. And the third person who I know everyone is aware of, who might not have been a writer or an artist in the industry, but was probably, if you ask most people, a very defining entity, a very defining individual in this art form that we love. And obviously I'm talking about the voice of Batman for an entire generation, multiple generations, Kevin Conroy. He passed away this week. Now, I have made it a point when somebody passes away to not be a ghoulish vulture trying to sell, because again, like many people made fun of me when George Perez passed. We didn't have a single George Perez book on the show.
There's a lot of George Perez. You should sell them.
When Neil Adams passed, there was no Neil Adams. Obviously, you're not going to see a Carlos Pacheco or Kevin O'Neill book up here. I just feel uncomfortable with taking advantage of people's death by trying to make money from it. But there's one book up here that I am going to at least inform people about, because I was not aware, A, that he wrote a story, and B, there was something, a very defining characteristic of Kevin Conroy's identity that I was not aware of. I was not aware that Kevin Conroy was a gay man. The new guy, you haven't met the new guy, but Lucas, he's a good dude. I've only been 2 weeks, but I'm getting good vibes.
All right.
I'm getting good vibes. I think we've made a good choice. But he's a young guy. He's about 22, and he came in. He's like, "Oh, I'm so upset. I'm like, "Why? What happened?" He's like, "Oh, Kevin Conroy died." I'm like, "Oh, shoot, Kevin Conroy died." And he's like, "Yeah. Oh, it's so sad. I loved that short story he did." And I'm like, "Kevin Conroy wrote a story?" And he's like, "Well, yeah. In this year's DC Pride book, he wrote a story about his experience being a gay man in the film industry." And I went, whoa, wait, Kevin Conroy was gay? And he was like, yeah. And I went, oh,
you can tell that by the voice.
Yeah. And so I went and I found, we had a couple copies of DC Pride 2022, and I read his short story, illustrated by Jay Bone, and it was beautiful. It's about his experience, obviously being a gay actor, trying to come up in the 70s and 80s in the film industry, and specifically him losing a lot of loved ones and friends by the AIDS crisis. He was very affected by the AIDS crisis. And more than anything, it was very fascinating that when he was offered, or when he went out for the role to do this voice of a character he was not that familiar with, Batman,
who had no idea
who the character was.
Other than back in the day, the
like the 60s show, yeah. But he didn't realize, and so it was fascinating for a man who, boy, he had a violent, a drunk alcoholic for a father.
He embodied it.
He had a violent, paranoid schizophrenic for a brother who he took care of. He was, especially once people found out what his sexuality was in the industry, he was blacklisted at different points.
You know what his favorite episode was?
What?
This is a 90s Batman thing.
The Grey Ghost? Grey Ghost, yeah. With the Adam West.
He has to, be embodied of the fucked up. Sorry, Kyle. The best of things. It's a great,
It was beautiful. And again, so he talks about what his attraction to Batman was, and hey, screw it, I'll just read this little. I imagined myself as young Bruce, witnessing my parents attacked and crumbling in front of me. I saw them lying in their blood in the filth of Crime Alley. I saw my own father lying drunk in a pool of his dried blood. As Bruce, I held them, comforting them in my arms. As Kevin, I cradled my bloody father as he struggled for life. As Kevin, I held Chris, cradling him as he raved at the voices plaguing him. As Bruce, I felt disoriented and lost, not sure of my identity as my parents were cruelly yanked from me. I felt disoriented and lost as an actor whose identity was being yanked from him. Was I my public face or my private face? Had I made too many compromises? My heart pulsed. I felt my face flush. My breath grew deeper. I began to speak, and a voice I didn't recognize came out. It was a throaty, husky, rumbling sound that shook my body. It seemed to roar from 30 years of frustration, confusion, denial, love, and yearning. Yearning for what? An anchor, a harbor, a sense of safety, a sense of identity. Yes, I can relate. Yes, this is terrain I know well. I felt Batman rising from deep within. It's beautiful. Just so, sorry, I don't know why that shook me up. So again, right now, you're going to probably see on the internet, there's a spike in value of this book after
I didn't know it existed.
After his death. But again, these are just cover price. They're $9.99. We're not looking. It's just it's the price of if you were to buy it when it first came on the shelf.
Hey, Kyle.
So, JoJo Shabadoo. All right, Mr. Shabadoo. Thank
Kyle,
you.
F you.
Hey, Mr. Kenneth. Hey, Kenneth. How you doing, Mr. Bird? All right, so JoJo, this is going to go with your first appearance of John Constantine. So there you go. Oh, actually, JoJo, I got to be honest with you. This is the main cover by Phil Jimenez. And then this is the wraparound cover done by the artist Sway that everyone is really into right now. So there you go. So I just want to be clear. I do have 2 copies of the regular variant, or the regular cover, but I only have 1 copy of the wraparound variant. So I just want to be sure that you get the one that you actually want.
And Kyle, I'll add that to the tip jar. You guys got it.
I didn't say they had to be newsstand keys, bro. Newsstand editions.
It doesn't matter what it is. It's a tip jar. Tip jar's a tip jar.
All right.
But this is the swear jar. This is that I can pay the FCC off later.
Well, I mean, it's the no curse jar.
Okay. All right. So here's the deal. Because I've been talking a little bit too much tonight. So I imagine most of you are familiar with Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, one of the all-timers. Most of you are probably familiar with Alan Moore and Brian Boland's Killing Joke. Most of you are probably aware that a little book called Watchmen by Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons came out. Also, some of you are probably aware of the V for Vendetta series that Alan Moore did with the British artist David Lloyd. And many of you have probably heard of From Hell. And so what I'm going to do right now, instead of talking too much about them and boring you, I am just going to go through the rest of these big spotlight keys that we have. We'll talk about, grading and value. And if you're interested, let me know, and we'll go from there. So first up, Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, #1, an all-time classic and one of the most iconic covers ever in this industry. This is a very fine plus for $150. Start to sell for $250. It's wild. #2, very fine plus, $60. #3, very fine plus, $30. And #4, with the famous Batman versus Superman battle that was ruined, by somebody a few years ago. Now this is a very fine at $20, primarily because on the back cover, it's like somebody scratched. It got scratched or something. It's weird.
So
yes,
Killing Joke I just saw recently.
All right. The movie?
Yeah.
The animated movie?
Yeah.
Where Batman and Batgirl?
I just saw it last week. This is
You're weird. You're weird.
This DC animated is so good.
No, I understand that.
RIP for that.
All right, real quick. So this is a first print of Batman: The Killing Joke. You'll always know it's a first print. It's a raised type and it's green. Now this is a very fine plus at $75. But if that's a little pricey, we do have. This is the one where they put a barcode sticker on it. So I graded it as a fine plus, and it's $45. And then we move on to the 12-issue maxi series of Watchmen. Up first is #1. That is a very fine at $40. And then we have #2. A mid-grade at $10. #3, a very fine plus at $16. #4, A Very Fine at 16, and one of my favorite single issues of this story. This is the Dr. Manhattan origin story. Love that issue. Number 5, A Very Fine at $14. Number 6, The Origin of Rorschach, A Very Fine Plus at $16. Number 7, Very Fine Plus, $16. Number 8, Very Fine Plus, $16. Number 9, Very Fine Plus, $16. And number 10, 11, and 12. That's a Very Fine Plus at 16 for issue 10. Issue 11, a little bit more, like I marked it up as a Very Fine minus at $12. And the final issue, A Very Fine minus for issue number 12, also for $12. So there you go. That is our complete run of Watchmen. If you've never heard of Watchmen, have you ever read a comic? No, I'm kidding. Okay. All right. So Shabadoo, Mr. JoJo, you're coming for the $45 Killing Joke with the barcode sticker. All right. Thank you very much. Appreciate you hanging out with us. All right. Mr. McLean. Oh, John McClane's in the chat. What is up, buddy? All right. Okay. So JoJo, you wanted the Sway cover. All right. There you go. And then Mr. McClain, you're grabbing the regular DC Pride book. All right. There we go, fellas. All right. I got you guys. All right. So let me just, we're not at a break yet. We're getting close. So let me just get through the rest of these. So next up is the 10-part V for Vendetta series by Alan Moore and David Lloyd. A book that just gets more and more relevant as we move further and further into the 21st century. The big one, obviously, is issue number 1. This is a high-grade copy at $40. And then the next are, so the rest of these, I'm pretty sure they're all high-grade. Issue 2 through 10 are all high-grade at $10 each. So here's issue number 2. Number 3, great cover. Number 4, David Lloyd is definitely an underappreciated artist. Number 5. And then we got number 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So there's number 7. Number 8. Again, these are all high grades at $10 each. No, that's number 8. That was number 7. All right, I just got my numbers wrong a little. Sorry.
I can count.
I'm good at counting.
I can count.
Issue number 9. And the final issue number 10. And I do not have a complete run like I do with Watchmen and V for Vendetta, but I do have the only book in the series that has value, the special first print where they only printed 15,000 copies. And I'm talking about From Hell by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell, all about Jack the Ripper, a wonderful series with a mediocre movie. But this is a high-grade copy of From Hell, Volume 1, high-grade, $25. All right, so those are our big keys of the night. All right, so from this point forward, as we're getting close to our second break, I want to let everyone know from this point forward, It's going to be all $3, $2, and $1 comics. No, actually, no. We're going to start with some half offs. We're going to do 50% off. But it's all going to be in honor of for anyone who's ever served this country, for anyone who's ever fought, bled, and God forbid died for this country in all of the many wars that we've been involved in.
So a lot of people.
A lot of people who have given their lives and lost family members and stuff like that, which I'll never be able to really show the real appreciation, especially when so many people take advantage of that to push forward their agendas and whatever. But we're gonna, just for the sake of, we're gonna have a bunch of war comics, and we'll do some westerns and all that kind of stuff. So to start off, let's do a couple half off, okay? So boom, boom. Let me just make sure. Okay, we're gonna start off with a couple war comics, and then we'll talk about. All right. So first up is for DC Comics. Our Army at War, Diary of a Frogman, Secret of the Maginot Line, Beachhead in Reverse, Touchdown Gun. So for anyone who's not familiar with the series Our Army at War, that was the series that introduced us to Sergeant Rock and Easy Company. Obviously, Sergeant Rock and Easy Company would go on to appear in their own title, other books, all that kind of good fun. But Our Army at War, pretty sure that's true. God, watch, it'll be like some weird title I'm not even aware of where Sergeant Rock actually appeared, but who cares? All right. So anyway, like I said, these are all half off. So first up, we have Our Army at War number 27. That's a 10 center, guys. Now, we have it priced up at $30, but tonight only, it could be yours for only $15. Next up, now we're starting to get the Joe Kubert, Sergeant Rock and Easy Company. This is Our Army at War number 130. Here, heads down. Here comes Flying TNT. Okay. We have it priced at $26, but tonight it could be yours for $13. Next up is Our Army at War issue 133. I've got to sink them before they sink me, or Easy Sunk. What's going on here? Sergeant Rock is booby trapped by Easy's new replacement, Yesterday's Hero. Okay. This is issue 133. We got it at $22, but tonight it's yours for $11. Some more Joe Kubert coming in. This is Our Army at War, issue 150. This is $30, but tonight, like I said, it could be yours for $15. Next up, nothing like fighting Nazis, that's for sure. Our Army at War, issue number 124. Okay, so I'm a little out of order numerically, so, bear with me here. This is retails for $28, but it's tonight $14. And now we're into another series called by DC, Our Fighting Forces. This is also a 10 center, so that this one dates back a bit ago, that's for sure. Our Fighting Forces issue number 51 retails for $26. Tonight it's only $13. Lucky 13. Next up, Gunner and Sarge in Our Fighting Forces Don't Come Back. Issue number 80. Retails for $22, but tonight it's $11, and they have a dog. Cool. And now we're moving on to another war series published by DC Comics, Star Spangled War Stories. This one is The Birdman Fights a Modern War with Stone Age Weapons in Vengeance of the Big Birds. Good times. This is issue number 131. Retails for $26. Tonight, it's only $13. And Star Spangled War, issue number 136. On Monster Island, 2 GIs were in the middle of a tug of war to the death. Who's this? Oh, this is a Joe Kubert cover as well. All right. This is issue number 136. It retails for $23, but it could be yours tonight for only $11. All right, so there's a few of our half-off war books. Let me just take a moment. What was the song in Small Soldiers? I don't remember, but Small Soldiers was a very fun book. And I think
There's a book?
No, movie. I meant movie.
There's like a lot of songs in Small Soldiers.
Yeah.
Like the soundtrack's actually pretty fire.
Is it really?
It's war. Oh, what is it good?
That's a song called War. But like they
War.
also had Love is a Battlefield and the theme from Patton and My City Was Gone by the Pretenders.
Who sung that song?
The version from that was a cover done by a bunch of people, including Bone Thugs and Harmony, Henry Rollins, Tom Morello, Flea.
Yeah, they did a cover of War?
Yeah.
For the movie.
That's pretty cool, actually. Oh, a new private dating chat, fellas! Our ship is finally coming!
Yeah!
We
made it! Kyle's like, don't stop!
No more of this. All right, everybody. So,
they deleted quick.
Yeah, well, we got a break right now. So when we come back from the break, how about what do we feel like? Do we feel like $1 Nick Fury comics? Do we feel like $3 War and Western comics? We'll think about it, folks. So you enjoy this break, and we will see you on the other side.
You just finished the last episode of your favorite news show, and you just have to talk about it. But all your friends are ghosting you because of that incident last week at the buffet. Oh, you know the one. What you did to that chowder. Ugh. Keeps me up at night. So what do? Join writer Dan Wickline as he breaks down all your favorite pop culture media. Whether it's a review of the latest nerdy TV show or a dive back into the history of your favorite comic characters, Dan's ready to discuss all the hottest topics live. Join the conversation as Dan live streams Tuesday through Thursday at 5 Eastern, 2 Pacific on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook. The Dan Wickline Show, on The Experience, comic culture and sales.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner. Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
What's up? It's the word man, Gary Lime. That's Dave Proch. And you're checking out Fat Jack's Comicrypt on The Experience now.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Who wants to look at Jason's pores? Yeah, Jason.
Put Mercy's test up.
You enjoying yourself? Having a good time? I'm happy for you, brother. All right, everybody. So next up, we're going to do a bunch of $3 war comics, okay? So here we go. So now we're into the Our Fighting Forces series, and these are the losers. Captain Storm, Johnny Cloud, Gunner, and Sarge. They were the main characters for a lot of the Our Fighting Forces series. So again, these are all $3 for tonight only, obviously. It's the only time we do these weird sales and stuff like that to, try to set us apart from the normal day-to-day comic book shop. I think a lot of these are Joe Kubert covers. And then we get into some our fighting forces. What do I have here? A lot of our fighting forces. Our Army at War. That's some more Sergeant Rock. And then we get into some Weird War. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, and even Charlton Comics has their own war book, Fighting Marines. Also, the CDC has the Fighting Five. And and then we get into Star Spangled War Stories, which was most notable for starring the unknown soldier. So let's. I know everyone is just chomping at the bit for these war books, so here we go. So these are our fighting forces featuring the losers. This is issue 142. Like I said, these are all $3. Issue 138. What we got here? Issue 137, 136. Do you think Captain Storm is dead? $3, we can find out. And just so we're clear about $3, people, that's literally cheaper than most comics are nowadays. This is issue 131. Issue 93, Our Fighting Forces. Issue 85. '83. '181. So I did not put these in
no order whatsoever.
No order whatsoever. That's for sure.
Figure it out.
Goes to show.
Par for the course.
This loser must die. It's the story of our life, Jason. This is issue 177.
That's about right.
Issue 174. '172. Again, a lot of gorgeous Joe Kubert covers. I don't know. Most of these probably don't have Joe Kubert interior, but some of them might. 170. 115. Oh, now we got some Our Army at War featuring Sergeant Rock. Some more Joe Kubert covers. The flag was dead. Could Sergeant Rock make it live again? Don't miss Battle Flag for a GI. Does Sergeant Rock have like magical powers? Like how does he bring an inanimate object like a flag back to life? Find out for yourself for only $3. There you go. This is issue number 185.
Well.
Oh, this is a fun one. I'm pretty sure this is the cover that gave the inspiration for that commercial in the 80s where somebody littered and the Native American has a tear. There you go. Issue 183. Everybody's crying.
That wasn't Native American. He's Puerto Rican.
Well, no, I know the actor was, but the character is indigenous.
You could have hired.
Yes, I know. Okay. Is there a problem with diversity and stuff like that in Hollywood and the advertising? Yes, of course, especially in the 80s.
Which to say?
Thanks for winning the war,
Which
Jason.
to say, hire a Puerto Rican is not that bad at that time because Puerto Ricans were not well looked upon.
Yeah, I know, but it was still.
It's still problematic.
But do you remember there was that whole period in like the 50s and stuff like that where Italian men played Indians or Native Americans in Western movies?
Well, yeah.
What was that all about?
Well, because
issue 133 of Our Fighting Forces.
It rolls downhill. Not always down.
Oh yeah. What exactly rolls downhill, Jason? Compassion.
I can't. I don't have to. I don't want to do another newsstand book.
Issue 126 of Our Fighting Forces. Ooh, Our Fighting Forces featuring Lieutenant Hunter's Hellcats. All right, come on, Hellcats. It's this way to the party.
Who are we fighting? The Hellcats.
Hellcats.
Who are we? The Hellcats.
Issue 112. You know what?
It's high school football team.
Completely, like not on. Okay, do you remember the movie with Goldie Hawn, Wildcats?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I love that movie. Oh,
The Wildcats.
I love that movie, man. It's so good. Here we go. Weird War Tales. Doomsday is 4 horsemen come riding. All right, some more Joe Kubert. Joe Kubert was just like killing this era of comics. Now we got some Charlton comics. Fighting Marines. This is issue 173. Wow, they don't really got up to like the 100. Wow. Some more Fighting Marines. Terror in Caves. Yeah, trust me, Terror was in the caves, that's for sure. Especially if it was on the Pacific, which I'm pretty sure this is where this issue takes place. Yeah. This is issue 174. We're back to the Fighting Five. Yeah, we've had it. So now we're gonna shoot people with gas. Is that a gas gun, or is it just the smoke after he already shot somebody? I don't know what's going on there. But this is Fighting Five 37. The Fighting Five sound like an early hip hop group. Oh, now we're getting to some Unknown Soldier, Star Spangled War stories. Issue 180. Now again, these are all $3. Issue 192, and again, more Joe Kubert art. Okay, now I gotta be straight. This is one of my favorite covers. This is awesome. All right, so let's take a look at it for real quick. All right, so this is Star Spangled War stories featuring the Unknown Soldier. This is issue 195. Now let's take a close look at this cover. All right, there's a bunch of Nazis in a boat, and the boat obviously has a swastika on it because how would you know they were Nazis? And there is a corpse floating in the river. And just under that corpse, floating just below with his knife, ready to jump out and stab all the Nazis, is the Unknown Soldier. So just so we're clear, that is not that is a corpse. The Unknown Soldier is secretly underneath. I don't know.
He's unknown
Underwater. Unknown underwater. There you go. Yeah. It's an album title, probably. This is issue 195, and one of my favorite covers of the night. Next up, they fight on a train. Oh, Enemy Ace shows up. All right, cool. Star Spangled War stories featuring the Unknown Soldier. Issue 200? Oh, yeah! It's the anniversary issue, issue 200.
The Wilson
I don't know. Oh, here's where a dude with an arrow kills Nazis. Cool. This is issue 203 of Star Spangled War stories. 203. Next up, issue 212 of. Now it's just called the Unknown Soldier. They just dropped the Star Spangled War stories at this point. They're like, it's the Unknown Soldier. And here we go. The Unknown Soldier, issue 216. Can a bugle sound the difference between defeat and victory? Taps at Arlington. There you go. Actually, this is for Veterans Day, and this is a good one. 216. And again, I apologize. I can't speak about what anything is underneath in the book. I'm just going off of Spend a Season in Hell, The Unknown Soldier. Oh, okay. Now we're liberating the Warsaw Ghetto. All right. Issue 247.
What year do these books take place?
1943. And last but not least of our $3 war books, issue 266. You get the Enemy Ace, you get the Viking Commando, and chained to a killer, can the immortal warrior save himself from a crushing doom? Doom. All right. And nobody cares. All right. So, we have one song. Let's do a playlist.
Oh.
Yeah. Jason, you have a song time?
I do. I'll
Let's
go look
go.
it back up. Hold on.
Hey, if anyone's watching, we're looking for some song titles. What am I going to do? Dang, I didn't think of a song. Shoot. Oh, okay. if anyone is watching, here's a good opportunity for me to tease a huge book, a massive book.
What? Don't do it now.
That if it makes it through the gauntlet of me
do
telling everybody that it exists. Have you ever heard of a little series called Bone by Jeff Smith?
Don't do it now.
Are you aware that there are multiple printings of the early issues? And specifically issue number 1 and issue number 1 first print. What's it valued at high grade? You looking at $5-6 grand for Bone number 1?
Like 1,200 copies.
It's like almost the equivalent of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 1 in terms of the amount of copies.
In the 90s?
90s.
Comic book?
Yeah. An independent comic book when Marvel and DC were trying to cause the entire industry to go under.
Well, they're just selling everything.
Yeah. So I'm going to let everybody know. Now, I got to talk to Mike. Because I'm pretty sure, and Jason's confirmed it, but I got to talk to Mike because it's super pricey. And that damn alarm, when did this start? I don't understand what's happening here. All right. So I got to talk to Mike because we have here at Fat Jack's Comicrypt a copy, and it's gorgeous. In fact, the only real issue with it is the pages aren't bright white. The pages aren't off-white.
It's going to happen with old,
no, of course,
30-year-old book.
But I just want everyone to be aware that next week we're going to roll out a copy of the first print of Bone number 1, a book I have never held in my hands. Never. But it has so much value, I really have to talk to Mike about it. I can't just price this up without a little bit of talking with my boy Mike. So, but I just want to tease for everybody that Fat Jack's Comicrypt is right now in possession of a first print, high grade Bone number 1. And if that doesn't get you excited, well, don't worry, because we also have a high grade first print of Bone number 2, which is only like a few $100s instead of a few thousand. So just want to let everybody know. And again, I understand that is very pricey, and we haven't even priced it yet. But I just want to give everybody just be aware of what we have been fortunate enough to have come upon. You had a chance to buy Bone number 1 proofs from the printer who did. Oh, Kyle! Oh, that's like not buying Apple stock. Kyle, what happened? Why'd you pass on it?
I had the $5 in my pocket.
Yeah. All right, but I just want everyone to be aware.
Oh, I'm talking and I got my microphone turned down. That explains
Yeah,
why.
I noticed that as I was waiting for you to talk, and it was just dead air.
Yeah, no, they were spiral bound, and I thought they were fake.
Oh.
So I passed, and then I run into Jeff Smith at a convention in Columbus a few months later and go, "Hey, I had this guy bring me these. Do you know anything about somebody selling fakes?" And he goes, "No, those are proofs."
Wow.
And I went, "You're kidding me." And he goes, "Nope."
Wow. Kyle.
You fool.
Yep. It'd be like somebody giving you Google stock in the 90s and you pass.
That's a good point. Good point.
Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's
that's one of the worst things I ever passed on. That it still haunts me to this day.
That's like kidney stones. That's worse.
Have you ever had a kidney stone?
I'm just saying. It's probably bad.
Yeah.
The other fun one I passed on that I didn't realize how much they were worth when I had the opportunity were Tijuana Bibles.
Oh!
Of Dick Tracy and Mary Worth and all of those kind of things. I had no idea what they were worth, so I sent the guy to the VFW, and he like donated them to their museum, which is cool. but like I should have just bought them.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Tijuana Bibles. That's awesome. Huh. You know what else is awesome? I have no idea. Yeah, so I understand if, who knows, man. Bone number 1, first print. Ooh. God. Who am I going to find that was going to pay that kind of money? Man. I mean, I can't. The moment I saw it and I realized what it was, I was like, oh my God, what? I mean, that's pricey book. And it's only gone up in value because obviously not only is it super famous, not only has it sold millions and millions of copies in multiple different languages around the world, it is one of, and again, I will state this, if you follow us on Instagram, you know I was raving about it. I do consider it to be one of the great works of art this medium has ever produced. It is brilliant. But Bone number 1, I mean, as a modern key within the past 30 years, it's like one of the biggest. Like, it is close to, obviously, like a Teenage Ninja Turtles number 1. You know, and again, as many people probably are already aware of, I mean, they are desperately trying to create either an animated film, an animated series. It would be better as a series. And again, if Bone ever sees the light of day as a film or a series, it's just going to only expand. And think about it this way. Think about how many children came up in the 90s and the early 2000s who grew up reading those books, who are one day going to have disposable income and who are going to want to recapture their childhood. I mean, that is going to be one of the biggest like comic book keys of all time. And again, they didn't print that many. It was a very, very low print run because again, it was an independent book where a dude was trying to mix Walt Kelly's Pogo and Carl Barks' Uncle Scrooge with Lord of the Rings. Except nobody knew that at the time until you got further into the series. Have you ever read, Jason? Have you ever read Bone? You never read Bone? Man. Anybody out there? You got anybody who's watching, not watching? Like Mr. McClain, have you read Bone before? Is that a series that you're familiar with? Like I'm at a weird point where like I wonder how many people like haven't read it. I mean, it's still in print. They put out the Scholastic. You know, they were putting out all the colored versions in their little digest portions and stuff like that. And yes. Mr. Bishop. Okay. Here's the thing. Do I expect anybody to purchase Bone number 1 first print for thousands of dollars? No. But if you've never read Bone, I cannot recommend it enough. Like, honestly. Especially, again, if I say the words, like, think Uncle Scrooge, Donald Duck, and then imagine you took those Carl Barks-esque sort of adventure stories and you threw them into Lord of the Rings. It's awesome. The Locust King, the dragons, the secret princess, the dream time. I mean, so much about Bone is wrapped up in cultural concepts of Aboriginal dream time, motifs pertaining to Moby Dick, lots of allegory. I mean, it is just, and the artwork is sumptuous. It's just beautiful. Like, just one moment it feels like it's like Disney cartooning at its best, and then it mixes like high fantasy adventure art. I mean, the stupid rat creatures alone are so funny. Oh, I love it. And yes, you are not allowed to live in Ohio as a comic book professional and have not read Bone.
One of the shops that I went to as an Aftershock ambassador when I was doing that job is the shop that Jeff Smith now considers his local comic book shop.
Cool.
The Laughing Ogre.
The Laughing Ogre.
Yeah, really cool shop, but they always have all of Bone in stock at all times. And more often than not, if you go in and you grab a volume 1, the trade, it's signed by Jeff because he'll just come in on Wednesday to pick up his pull list and sign random copies of the stuff. Like, it's really a cool thing to see him just there buying his books while you're there trying to sell them Aftershock.
Dude, that's awesome.
And I'm like, "You're Jeff Smith," and he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, hi. And then I ran away. It was like the Chris Farley show, except with comic books.
Oh my god, that's fun, man. That is very fun. I gotta get a song in here. Where's my song? Where's my song for the night? I've already forgotten.
There was one that I thought we should put in when Jason brought up super soldiers or small soldiers.
Okay.
There is a cover in there of a song. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's a Wyclef Jean cover of an old school classic rock song.
Let's get it, man. Let's find out.
I will pull it up and I will put it in the chat for you.
All right, so Wyclef Jean, I got it. I'm gonna go with my girl Karen O and her brothers from another mother of the Yeah Yeah Yeahs are finally coming back into the fold. They just put out a new song, and so I'm gonna go with Wolf, but I'm going to choose the Boys Noise remix. So, because again, for anyone who's not familiar with this whole thing, sometimes there's a theme, but sometimes it's just, what are you listening to lately? Is there a song that you can't get out of your head? And, oh, it's Another One Bites the Dust. All right, cool. The Queen song, good one. Another One Bites the Dust. All right, good stuff. But yeah, I'm going with Wolf. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the Boys Noise remix. And again, there is no judgment here. The only reason why a song won't show up in a mix is because it's been chosen before, or Roland can't find it, or no, that's it. That's it. It's the only reason. But covers, remixes, they're all good. The one night when we have a robust audience, I really want to get into. Think about this. If anyone's watching right now, start thinking about this. Within the next week or two, when we do a mix, Jason is coming in with Think About Things by a name I can't pronounce. Oh, speaking of judgment, yo, by the way, Mr. Judgment, I better have a song.
J.J. McJudgerson?
Yeah, Mr. McJudgerson. I want a song suggestion from you, okay? Just so we're clear. And by the way, when I actually listened to the Temptations' Ball of Confusion, I was like, oh yeah, I've definitely heard this song many times before. What was I thinking? So what is it? How do you pronounce that? DJ Freya. Dude, if I give that and Roland is like, I don't recognize that, you're a lunatic. He might even accuse it of being, he'd be like, what is this? Some weird Nazi music?
It's fine. Just listen.
All right. Okay. All right. But I want some song suggestions. Oh, but what I'm talking about is, so start thinking about this, fellas, and maybe you invisible ladies that watch.
One or two.
I want to create a mix that is based off of, if you have ever gotten a breakup mix, or if you've never gotten a breakup mix, if you were to imagine a breakup mix. Oh, okay, Mr. McLean's coming in with an Imagine Dragons song. Demons. Okay. But I want to create a Latchkey Manifesto playlist based off of a break, because
you have plenty of those.
Should we do that the first week of December, and we could do it as a Breaking Up with Al?
Ooh,
yes.
Before or after the holidays.
No, the Al breakup is better.
This is now the time period breakups.
No, don't worry, we're gonna do.
Yeah, you gotta break up now, so you're not committed to buying a Christmas present.
Exactly. There you go.
Yes,
Kyle's got it right.
That's what I'm saying. This is a time of breakups.
All right, because at the same time, on the other side, we're going to create a playlist based off of a song that you put, whether you gave it to them or not, but a song you put on a I Think I Like You mix that you wanted to give to somebody that you were attracted to or you were into. So think about that kind of stuff, right? Because we're almost 20. Like tonight's playlist will be the 20th volume of the Latchkey Manifesto experiment.
So what's the breakup?
So now we got to start creating some. Oh! Mr. Snyder's coming in with Count Choc-O-Lot. All right, that sounds made up.
It's I think he's all random. He's a bot. He's a bot.
Yeah, if there was ever a bot, it's definitely a dude named David Snyder.
God ban him. That message sounds suspicious.
Toothpaste 2000. All right. I got hooked on a new artist called Drumming Bird this week. Okay, all right. Screw it. Give us a song now. We don't have that.
I don't wanna.
Okay. No,
only because the one song that I've been listening to by them will bum everyone the hell out.
Okay, yeah, we don't want to go.
Right, I want to listen to more of their music and find a fun song.
Okay.
Than
Drumming Bird. I like that.
Yeah, the one song I know, the one song I listen to is called American Spirits by them.
Okay.
Which is like this kind of protest song, but also it's about a pack of cigarettes.
Cool.
So it's got this kind of weird vibe to it, but it's a super bummer.
Nice. Okay. All right. By the way, Volume 19, the Latchkey Manifesto, Is He Okay? It's a banger. It's good. It's good, man. These mixes are good, man. I feel bad for all the people who can't listen to them because they're good. Like, they're genuinely good. Even songs I don't like, I like them while listening to the mix. Like, and I give Roland, if you're watching, buddy, you're probably not. You're probably sleeping off another broken evening. But he does a pretty good job. They're concise. They're interesting.
How did Roland feel about my hipster "No More F's to Give" song?
That's fun.
It's an earworm, but it's so annoying sometimes.
And again, though, but at the same time, he's a big fan of like entering and going out on like kind of like a whiplash, like tonal whiplashes. He's a big fan of that. Where he's like, he wants to create a mood, and at the very end, he wants you to feel bad about being in that prior mood. Just wants to just leave you broken on the floor, or in a bathtub without any water, and you're still wearing all your clothes.
But at least there's ice around you. Your kidneys are out, so.
Well, no. Thankfully, you have all your kidneys, but you vomited all over yourself.
Ah, Jesus.
You definitely you were just crusted in vomit. And speaking of vomit, I think Kyle. It's time for a break. 6:15.
It's 6:30, but we can go early if you want.
Oh, 6:30. Why do I always screw that one up? Because we do 5. Because we don't.
Because it used to be 6:15.
Oh, it used to be.
You know what? You're talking
right when we started earlier, or we started later. When you started at 6, it was 6:15, 6:45.
Okay.
7:30.
Wait, did we stealing it?
You need to put an alarm on the bone number 1 so you know where it goes, or one of those trackers, right. One of those Apple tags that the stalkers use.
Yeah. Well, plus Jason is always trying to figure out where to put the bone.
Hey-o!
Oh!
Hold on.
All right. Okay, so 6:30 is our break. Okay, so I can't be a lazy ass. I have to actually try to sell more books. And I'm pretty sure Mike is watching. So let's sell books. We sell comics. We sell comics. All right, so let's do some. All right, screw it. I'm doing $1 Nick Furies. Okay, I'm doing $1 Nick Furies. Now, just so we're clear, this is not Nick Fury and the Howling Commandos. This isn't even Jim Steranko's era Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is newsstand edition Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. from 1989 up until 1990 something. I apologize, it is not a complete run, but it doesn't matter because they're all $1. So let's just burn through them. Issue number 1. This is the period where Nick Fury is fighting S.H.I.E.L.D. too. Issue number 2, all a book. Number 3, Out of the Past, Sergeant Fury and his Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Issue number, is that 4 or 5? Number 4. We don't have issue number 5, but we have issue number 6. And it asks the question, who will survive the confrontation? I'll tell you one thing, it's not me. Issue number 7, part 1 of the Chaos Serpent storyline with the treachery of Leviathan. And look at all those sweet newsstand barcodes. Issue number 8, and that is one goofy looking dude. Look at that costume. Look at that armor that dude is wearing. Oh boy, 89 is a weird year. Number 9. Oh, don't worry, folks, because we do have a complete run of the Chaos Serpent storyline. Because we do have issue 10, which is part 4, but we also have a guest appearance with Captain America. All right. And then we move on to issue number 11, just a typical relaxing vacation in Scotland with a big bird. And now we get into the storyline, the Hydra Affair. And don't worry, because we have all 3 parts. Boom. Oh, Mr. McClain. All right. So here, let me just, all right. Mr. McClain. So before I move on, because I don't want to miss it, so issue 2, 3, and 4 is going to my boy, John McClain. Boom. All right, all for $1. All for $1. All right, next up. So this is the 3-part Hydra Affair storyline.
Hey, he wanted number 1 too.
Oh, and number 1. Okay, all right. Sorry if I missed that. There we go. All right. So we got issue number 12. Number 13 in the first non-newsstand edition. Don't cry, Jason. It's okay.
It's all right.
There's more newsstands. Don't worry. And the final part of the Hydra Affair. Fury taught Pierce everything he knows. He shouldn't have taught him that so much. Who was Pierce? I don't know. Issue number 14. There we go. And now we move on to the, oh my God, I can never pronounce this word right.
No.
Apogee, Apogee, of disaster.
Apogee.
What is it?
Apogee.
Apogee. Okay. Now, regrettably, this is a 5-part storyline, but we are missing part 2. So here is issue 15. And then we skip issue 16 because I don't have it. Issue 17. Issue 18. Issue 19. We got some Fantastic Four hanging out stuff. And that is the final part of the word I can't pronounce of disaster. And now we move on to Jackson Geis covers. Now, these are the covers I actually remember the most from my years where I'd go in and I'd pick up some comic books and I would look at Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and be like, what's going on with that book? These Jackson Geis covers are actually really cool. So here is issue 20. Number 21, The Horrific Return of Baron Strucker. Number 22. Now we skip to issue 25, another action thriller, Hydra attacks, S.H.I.E.L.D. Central destroyed. All this in 22 pages. Find out inside. Boom. Oh, but Marvel's like, wait a minute. The kids who like superheroes aren't buying Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. So the editor's like, I know what to do. Let's throw on the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and make sure that half-naked She-Hulk is there. So there she is, issue 26. Literally just wearing a bathing suit. Like,
well, because why not?
All right, well, hold on. I saw Mr. Snyder. David, he's grabbing an issue 20. All right. There you go, David. I got you, pal. Right, there you go. All right, now, again, if the Fantastic Four and the Avengers didn't work to get the Nick Fury sales up, well, guess what? We make this joke a lot. It ain't Ghost Rider. It ain't Punisher.
Wolverine.
It's Wolverine.
Yeah!
Issue 27. There you go. And now we have issue 28 with Wolverine and Nick Fury in a polar bear coat.
The first time I contributed well, and you're going to do that to me.
Yeah. Next up, we have issue number 29. Don't worry, Wolverine is still hanging out with his boy Nick.
Because reasons.
Yep. And now we skip to issue 32, where we have 32 now. Again, I'm always thinking like a couple things ahead. And then,
it's been a long night.
So now we have guest starring Alpha Flight's Weapon Omega. All right. And now we get to issue 34, where Strucker strikes. Say that a few times.
Loses beating.
Yeah. Now we're into issue 36 with a guest starring Cage, because he had dropped the Luke for a period of time. And Nick Fury and Cage fight the Constrictor. I love D-list Marvel villains. Okay, now we're into a 4-part storyline that we have all 4 parts for. All right. It's called The Cold War of Nicky Fury. It's not Nicky. It's just it felt like fun to say.
Nicholas Fury.
The Cold War of Nick Fury, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. So here we go. Issue 38. Issue 39. Issue 40, and the final part of the Cold War of Nick Fury, who gets caught in a crossfire, issue 41. And then, from the ashes, comes Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 42. At this point, I don't even know who these artists are. Does anyone remember a guy named Hebink? Heebink? Hebink? I've never heard of this artist before.
Hebink.
But here we go, issue 43. In the depths of S.H.I.E.L.D. HQ, Nick finds S.H.I.E.L.D. agents held in stasis, Red and Lump alive. I think those are 2 characters that died earlier in the series. A dead friend turned live foe, and see what happens when you don't clean out the basement.
Well,
my mother yells at me. That's what happens.
What happened?
Issue 43. And last but not least, because what is a Nick Fury comic without guest starring Captain America? And what are friends for if not to point guns at each other? All right. So there are all of our dollar Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., late 80s. Oh, we got, all right. So Mr. McClain, all right. So let me take a step back. All right. So Mr. McClain, grab 26. Let's go in order. All right, there's 26. There you go. And then Snyder came in with 27, 28, and 29. 27, 28, and 29. Yo, Snyder, by the way, these are $1. You don't get 50% off. So if you want to change your mind, feel free. But they're $1. Okay, my friend? Please. When oh, actually, no, I take that back. We'll take care of them, David. I understand what's going on here. I always forget that I owe you money. All right, next up. So we got all of Snyder. Okay, we got all Snyder. So now we're back to Mr. McClain, 38 through 41, 43, and 44. Got it. Okay. 38, 39, 40, 41, 43, and 44. All right, there we go. So those are all of our done. Yes, David, I obviously remembered it as I was babbling, and I regret babbling because now I feel like a fool. Okay, so that's taken care of.
So John Hebink.
Okay, that's the gentleman's name?
Yes, primarily known for his work on Quasar.
Okay.
And Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Published by who?
I don't know. I'm looking at his comic art fans, and there's like, he did the Quasar number 55 cover. That's a cover I recognize.
Okay.
But other than that, most of this is unrecognizable to me.
Oh, Mr. Bishop. We have issue 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 25, 32, 34, and 36. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We have, and 20. So we have 20 Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.s left. So 20.
The Elvira volume he worked on was put out by Dynamite, but it's not the Dynamite logo we would all recognize. So I imagine it's very early Dynamite.
Like super early Dynamite?
I would imagine. I don't have any. Probably 1993.
When did Dynamite start?
1993.
So Dynamite started. So just so we're clear, but like the Dynamite and Dynamic Forces start at the same time?
No, I don't know that answer to that question.
Okay, not that we should know. Who cares?
But yeah, that was when that Elvira was. But a lot of Quasar, and what was the other thing? A little bit of the Shield stuff, but it was primarily covers.
Okay, cool. All right, Mr. Bishop. So Mr. Bishop is going to walk away with the rest of our Nick Fury Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is 20 books altogether. Out of curiosity, does anyone know how many issues did this volume of Nick Fury Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. actually last? Did it get up to issue 50? I'm not too sure. All right, so Mr. Bishop, I got the rest of, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There's 21, actually, Mr. Bishop. There's 21. I must have miscounted. I apologize. If you change your mind, let me know. All right, so, and they're all a buck. They're all a buck. Woo! And with that note, let's take a break.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there, hi there, ho there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome, everybody. It's Fat Jack's Comicrypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpel. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody! Welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey!
What's up?
Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody! Welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectors.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. Is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box? What's in the Box?
Comic culture and sales.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out. Twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code. Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the Experience is all the time.
Comic Collectibles is a pretty straightforward show. You got Rex here, he sells the comics, and you got Rocket Robbie, he knows about the comics. And finally, John, well, no one really knows what John does. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a great guy, but he just keeps showing up. Come to think of it, I don't even really know how he gets in here. Anyway, awesome comics, rare books, rarer signatures, slabbed books, and amazing cover sketches by Ken Hazer and others. Simple formula, you want the comics, you buy the comics. To sum up, Rex sells the comics, Robbie knows the comics, and John, who might possibly be a ghost. I mean, seriously, has anyone ever seen him show up or leave? Comic Collectibles with Rex and John, Mondays from 6 to 8 Eastern on The Experience. Comic Culture and Sales.
What's up? It's the word man, Gary Lime. That's Dave Proch. And you're checking out Fat Jack's Comicrypt on The Experience. Now.
Yeah, I see you. Now we're... So Kyle, like...
What? The back of Jason's head?
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, but like the because on my feed it came up while the Gary and Dave thing was going on.
I don't know what you mean.
Don't worry about it. All right, so.
All right, I was trying to order B-dubs. I'm sorry.
Let's not get anybody too excited now. We're in negotiations with a secret buyer, so we'll have to figure things out. Feel bad now that I teased. All right, so Dave came in with a "Who Are You?" I'm pretty sure that's a Who song, right? Is that the title? Who are you, or is it like Who are you? Is that the title, or is that just Snyder? Is that the actual title of the Who song?
Is it Who and then the name is Are You?
No, it's definitely a lyric. It's part of the chorus of the song, Who Are You? But it might be one of those songs where like the title is not the like.
That is the title of the song.
It is the title. Okay, well, I'm a fool. I am a fool. All right, so Who Are You by The Who. All right, so we've got a few songs on here.
That one is not a Baba O'Reilly situation where everybody thinks it's Won't Get Fooled Again, but it's actually called Baba O'Reilly.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of thinking of. I was like, is it a Baba O'Reilly situation?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I was.
That is definitely not the name.
Yeah, because I love when people are like, "Oh, I want to hear that I Won't Get Fooled Again song." I'm like, Baba O'Reilly? They're like, "No, that's not it." I'm like, Baba O'Reilly.
No, it's
There's another famous.
It's not Teenage Wasteland. What's
Teenage Wasteland is Baba O'Reilly.
Yeah, but it's what Teenage Wasteland. Like, no, it's not called Teenage Wasteland. It's called Baba O'Reilly.
It's not called. Yeah. Everyone's like, speaking of, did you ever see the Spike Lee movie Summer of Sam?
No.
There's a great like montage scene in that movie that is cut to almost the entirety of Baba O'Reilly, which, considering the fact that Baba O'Reilly is what, like a 7-minute long song?
Yeah.
You know.
The original album cut is exactly 5 minutes.
Somebody's been doing research.
No, I just
super producer.
Jason, I reached over and grabbed it out of the crate next to me.
Oh, even better. Dude, I can't tell you the amount of times when Al and I first started like doing this, I was always like, all these kinds of shows, because it drives me nuts in podcasts, everybody needs the person whose only job, when two idiots start to debate about certain facts that they don't know, you need the person who just looks it up.
I got it. Don't worry, I got it.
You know, they're like, oh yeah, I don't know if it's this thing or that thing. The person's like, it's this. And you're like, oh, all right, good. You know, because that helps.
Yeah.
I don't know why more podcasts don't do that.
You know what? It kills the whole like go back and forth for 3 hours and nobody cares.
Because do you know how annoying it is to listen to two jack tools argue for half an hour?
I don't know. Ask the chat. Kyle, what are they saying?
Well, it'll be all those moments where you and Al would start going back and forth about the title of something. I'd be like, who cares? Moving on. All right, speaking of who cares, moving on.
Oh, Al.
Let's try to sell some more books.
Al, come back. I need you.
What do I got here? Let's see. Okay, we're going to do some more war books, but this time they're $2. All right, so let's do some $2 war books. All right, let me just hold on, fellas, everybody. Let me just grab some Sergeant Rock. I got some Sergeant Rocks here. I got some more Fighting Marines. We're going to skip the Westerns for right now. We'll do that maybe next week. Here's an Unknown Soldier. I bet this is very entertaining, watching me root through a box I should have already rooted through.
It's the experience of going to a comic book store. It works.
Thank you, Jason. Thank you.
It's fun.
What is the point of the comic shopping experience if not to create the experience of being in a comic shop and watching some dude?
You know what? If you can't do it, he's doing it for you guys.
That's literally on the front page of the new website.
Oh, God, really?
No,
What was the point of this if not?
Experience. My back rooting from a long box, being like, hold on.
It's a moment. It's a gift of just sorted through.
I know it's here.
I'll find a hot key. I got it.
All right, here we go. All right, so this is our war books, $2 each. So again, we're doing some more Unknown Soldiers, and maybe something else shows up, but I'm pretty sure most of this is Unknown Soldiers. All right, so here we go. 252. Sail into fury with Captain Fear. Charge into combat with Dateline Frontline. All right, stop. Dateline Frontline? F you. Come on.
Is it Dateline when Dateline was a thing?
I don't.
What year?
Okay. What year did Superman 2 come out, the movie?
Mid-80s.
No, it wasn't mid-80s. Early 80s, right? Yeah,
it's like 82.
81, 82.
Yeah.
All right, so it was then. So Dateline was around.
Dateline's, yeah.
But Dateline Frontline?
Oh, well, NBC has to make their money.
Like, no. Why did an editor go, yo, dude, think it through. Dateline Frontline, that's your title?
It's not going to hold up.
It's okay, because Unknown Soldier faces death.
Like actual death? Or just...
No, like the cosmic character death. Yeah, they like make out at one point. It's pretty hot. Yeah, it's a really cool scene. You know, in fact, Thanos was always very jealous that that his lover went to another universe called the DC universe and made out with some dude who has like bandages all over his face. And Thanos is like, "Hey man, you're not into my big scrotum chin, but you like this dude? This is the guy you're sexually attracted to? Come on." By the way, this is issue 257 of Unknown Soldier. These are all $2. $2, guys. Issue 258. In fact, when Death and Unknown Soldier were like making out, this is the face he would be making every time she would like pull back. He'd be like, "Oh my God, you were just rocking my world." And she's like, "Don't worry, your world's gonna get more than just rocked." Who else do we have here? From the battlefields of the Revolution comes Tomahawk. Definitely not racist. From the bloody skies of World War I soars the Balloon Buster. The Balloon Buster. That is a cool name. In fact, I want to be known from this day forward, not as the father of nothing. That's too pretentious. I want to be known as the Balloon Buster.
Well, the jacked up part about that, so like the balloons were put up to
264
low flying planes.
Yeah, dude, I know the reality.
So with the Balloon Buster, are we happy about that or bad about that? Because Balloon Buster at the time
238
is a coastline thing.
You're applying way too much logic and reasoning to this. We are at like the final like 20 minutes of the show.
I'm so boss.
and this show went out off the rails in the first 10 minutes, which is sort of par for the course.
So I've done my job.
And again, hey,
all right, good night, guys.
Look, Unknown Soldier is about to throw TNT at a bunch of Nazis. Actually, this is a cool cover. Oh, that's issue 239. This is a fun cover. Issue 240. How many men must die to save the Hammer of Glory? Which is the subtitle for Karate Kid Part 4. The Hammer of Glory. Or The Power of Love. It's like the new Celine Dion song, Hammer of Glory. It's a sequel to The Power of Love. Is this issue 240? Dude, look, it's death, except without the purple robe.
Yeah.
It's the white robe. Because in the DC universe, she's a little prettier.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, if she's got the purple robe.
Yeah. Purple robe.
Or the skull face. Yeah. So it's like.
What issue number is this? 241. Uh-oh, the unknown soldier is being accused of being a traitor. I wonder if he was there on the 16th. 16th. We don't want to get deplatformed. You got to come up with new words, new dog whistles. Whenever I say the 16th, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
16th minus 10.
It's not too bad. But I'm pretty sure people get it when I say the 16th. I've literally said it like multiple times.
I know, but I always want to correct you.
Yeah, I know. And you're
jerk.
You're killing the joke. Yeah. Frontline. Real quick, when you say you're doing a deep dive of Frontline and Dateline, are you talking about the actual shows Frontline
Yes.
and Dateline?
So when Dateline Frontline came out, the show Frontline had not yet debuted.
Okay.
On PBS.
Okay.
The show Dateline may or may not have. I have not gone that far into that one. But did you know you can review these shows on on the Googles? Yeah. You know those things that people do, like when another comic shop opens up in town and they go on Google and they bash the old comic shop because the new comic shop is giving them a better discount or whatever?
Wait, people do that?
Yes. All the time. Like they try to tank somebody's Yelp reviews.
Okay.
Imagine if for 4 years that was what everyone did for Dateline and Frontline.
That's too funny.
So like Frontline, which is one of the most highly regarded news shows ever, has a 3.1 star review. Or 3.1 star average.
Wait, okay. This is sort of on topic, but not. It's all about reviewing things online. If you ever want to have a really good laugh, wherever you live, I mean, you could pick any municipality, but look up the online reviews of all of the municipal courts.
I was going to say prisons.
Dude.
The best online reviews ever are go on Amazon and look up the reviews of the sugar-free Haribo Gold Bears.
Oh, I've heard this before. This is like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Haribo. That's the famous German company that creates. Look up the sugar-free. People, okay, they're more upset over that than they are losing their rights as a citizen.
Well, I'll be honest. The thing that sugar-free Gold Bears do to you seems more pressing in the moment than they are essentially like eating X-Lax.
Yeah, it's like laxatives. It's like, what was that?
In the moment, what's more pressing?
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. Like, the more pressing matter right now is not your voting rights; it's the fact that you're about to poop your pants. Real quick though, does anyone remember in the '90s the potato chip? Celestra? Was that what it was called?
Yeah. So
now was that a like a fat substitute?
The fat substitute it passes through you.
Dude, it's a laxative. It's like you literally eat 2 chips and you're like, I gotta poop.
But do you remember like Stacker? Stack was a epinephrine. It's speed.
Okay.
So like that was a whole period of time where we're doing things that were not really.
I gotta tell you.
Okay.
You know what I really am mad that I missed out on by about 80 years? Original, true original Coca-Cola. So, because let's be honest, sugar water filled with cocaine, that's a good night. That's a good time.
So going to Europe, unpasteurized cheese, so much better. Like it's
okay. There's somebody very close to me who literally buys illegal raw milk and creams and butter out of the back of a wagon.
Wait, you need to
by
illegal.
The Mennonites.
You gotta do illegal.
Oh, excuse me.
Air quotes. There you go.
Illegal.
There you go.
They're just technically they're not, you're not gonna go to jail for it, but you're supposedly not allowed
It's like, I thought pretzels from a guy on the corner. That is illegal.
Yeah, that's true.
That is illegal.
By the way, another thing. Speaking of online reviews, if you ever want to have a good laugh, go to the Fat Jack's Yelp reviews and try to figure out which reviews are talking about me. Trust me, they're not positive.
They all are.
All right. Unknown Soldier, issue number 243. Now we're into 244. He's on a sub. Okay. This is another one of my favorite covers of the night. Like, Look at that cover. He's just a bunch of Nazis just hanging out in like a sewer, and he's just like, what is it about him being under? Can he like hold his breath longer than everybody?
So.
And by the way, he's pulling a pin out of a grenade underwater. That's issue 245. Now he's out. I gotta be honest, man. These Joe Kubert Unknown Soldier covers are awesome. By the way, if anyone, I don't have the issues, but if you ever want to have one of, and it's out of print, no shock. I'm about to talk about an awesome book that's out of print. But back in the, I think it was 96, 97, Garth Ennis and, is his name Kirby Pluckett, the artist? I'm not sure. Don't hold me to that. But they did a 4-issue Vertigo miniseries of The Unknown Soldier that is awesome. Like, legit. Maybe it was 5 issues. But either way, it is Garth Ennis Vertigo Unknown Soldier miniseries is worth you looking for. If I had the entire series, I'd be trying to sell it to you right now. I don't. But keep it on your radar. Keep it on your comic book bucket list. We got to start creating a comic book bucket list for everybody.
I got a bucket list.
You got a bucket list?
Yeah.
Of comic books or life?
Comic books.
I don't have a bucket list of life.
No, life.
I'm always expecting death to finally come for me.
I just
tomorrow
roll it.
Okay.
Books, different story.
All right.
Couple books.
All right. There you go. That's issue 235, Unknown Soldier. Issue 215, more subs. These are all $2. Now we're moving into not Unknown Soldier. Let me just make sure before I say that. Oh, no, we have one more Unknown Soldier. Issue 254, all right? Now we have The Fightin' Five, 5 Trails to Death. 5. I got 5 on it. It's all about a blunt. That's what it is. Yeah. Like, pass it, because I have $5 on that blunt. Like, yeah, so. Our Fighting Forces, featuring the Losers, issue number 160. We did it, Losers. We surprised them. Man, that's really giving away the plot.
Bury the lead there.
Yeah, like, so they succeed before I even open up the book.
I guess we're done here.
Yeah, like, why am I going to read it? Now we got Our Army at War, featuring Sergeant Rock, issue 181. Again, these are all $2. Now we have ABCD spells death. No, actually, it doesn't, comic book. It does not spell death. It spells ABCD. But issue 371. That's a fun cover. Joe Kubert having a little fun with the title, because they're literally fighting in front of a big rock, Sergeant Rock. Ooh, get it? What is your 371? 371. Don't touch her, Rock, unless you want a slug in the gut. She ain't dead.
What?
But don't worry, guys, because there's...
What is going on?
This is the funnier one. In May of 1984, on many of DC's comic books, this is the slogan. You ready? The new DC. There's no stopping us now.
Wait.
If there was ever a comic book company that couldn't be stopped in 1984, it was the new DC.
Wait, can you see that?
Yeah, sure, go for it. Yeah. The new DC. Okay, this is a little off the beat. Oh, herein are stories written by Robert Kanigher and illustrated by Russ Heath, depicting the young innocents caught in the agony of war. For anyone who's never watched the show before, you're not familiar, Russ Heath if you ever found in the back of old comics when they would sell like little miniature army figures or little miniature Gloman gladiators and stuff like that, Roman centurions, you would see an illustration of like war battles and stuff like that selling you these toys. Russ Heath was the one who always drew them. Russ Heath was so known for representational depictions of soldiers and equipment. And John McClane is claiming the Fighting Five. There we go. And you're going for $371. That's this one. Yep. All right, Mr. McClane, don't worry. I got you, bud. I got you. All right. There you go. Boom. All right, but this is the issue that I was just referring to. Sergeant Rock, Children in War, issue 396. 396. There we go. And the last two, we have Sergeant Rock Special number 7, written by Robert Kanigher, illustrated by Cooper, Kirby, and Thor. Let's find out. I gotta know. Is this really Jack Kirby? And is it Joe Cooper or one of his sons? All right. So we got Sergeant Rock and Easy Company and Ice Cream Soldier. That's a joke that writes itself. The Losers in Devastator versus Big Max. And Tomahawk in Aim Your Cannons at Me. All right. So we got, Joe Cooper. Okay. There's Joe Cooper. And who else? And then we have, it is Jack Kirby. Oh my God, this is actually awesome. Dude, guys, look it up. Jack Kirby, written and illustrated by. Like he's doing like Kirby, but for like Nazis. Oh my God, it's like legit. It's got to be new, right? And then, there, chapter 2. I mean, quintessential Kirby, guys. Big Max. And then who does... boom, boom, boom. Dude, man, Kirby does a lot. Actually, this is really cool. For $2? Man, I should have purchased this for more. Frank Thorne is the other artist. I'm not as familiar with Frank Thorne, but he has like a bit of a Kirby look. Not Kirby, I mean Joe Cooper. Joe Cooper. John McClane. Dude, great purchase. Actually, that is a cool book. So,
by the way, I'm calling it now. Emma Kubert is the most talented Kubert since the original Kubert.
Okay. She's Adam Kubert's daughter?
Yes, and she's doing the new Frank Miller stuff.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, she's drawing a book he's writing.
Pretty cool. And then last but not least, the $2 comics is from Charlton Comics, Fighting Marines, issue 169. There's not much percentage in bucking heads with a T-34 tank, but what else can you do when you're known as the tank hater? What the hell? Comics.
That's your data tank.
Comics. That's awesome.
I hate these tanks.
Oh my God, we're out of time. Oh my God, dang. All right, that went fast. All right, okay, all right. So we're out of time. Before we go, anyone seen Black Panther: Wakanda Forever yet? No spoilers or anything. I'm going tomorrow. I'm taking my brother in the morning. You're working?
Yeah, I was supposed to be working right now, actually. So I'll probably be working later tonight.
Nice. Well, I hope it's good. I've heard word of mouth it's decent, but the bigger word of mouth that I'm excited by is people are vibing on Namor.
Bill's gonna be there tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he's there now.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to 12 o'clock noon. Going to IMAX. Gonna go. But yeah, but the thing that's got me excited is people are openly saying that like the dude pulled off Namor. And again, my whole point was, I don't care what his nationality or race is or sexual. I don't give a damn.
He's an Atlantean.
Just get the vibe, the personality. I want a jerk that I want to secretly fall in love with. That's what I want. Namor is just a big jerk who I secretly crush on. That's all. So, hey, David! David, you're in the chat! It sucks that we're coming to an end! That's awesome!
That's what he said.
And he spelled my name right.
He said it last week. It's the last week.
Nice. Nice. We did it. Oh, Kyle, do you have a show coming on? Have we kind of pushed up against the... Well, I guess...
no, that show is no longer a thing. Next show's
right.
8 o'clock.
We did talk about that. Okay. All right. Well, it doesn't matter because I'm done. All right. So I hope everyone has an opportunity to maybe see Black Panther if you're interested. I mean, I know some people who have decided that they refuse to go see it.
Those people are dumb.
And I don't want to say why they refuse to go see it because it's sort of heartbreaking.
Well, the girl that was supposed to be Black Panther, she's anti-vaxxer. There's a whole thing.
Well, no, there's a lot of, and again, I don't want to speak.
They had a thing.
As a white man, I don't want to speak for anybody, but there's a few dudes I know who feel that the movie is trying to erase Black men from culture. I'm afraid that's a little too far in their fear, but it's not for me to try to define another person's experience, especially when a lot of race and culture are a part of it. Because again, I'm a white man, and despite what a lot of other people want to say, most of the entertainment industry still is made for me. There's a lot of hey man, I can turn around right now and see, yep, white man. Yeah, but I'm okay. I'm taken care of. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter. I hope everyone enjoys Black Panther. I hope it's good.
Expand your horizons. That's all.
That's
people that say Parasite was an amazing movie. I'm like, yes, it was. But there's so many good Asian movies you haven't missed. You missed. Korean movies are great. You have to watch these.
Do you think there was a moment where Kyle was like, "Sweet, we're gonna completely get out of this episode"?
Yeah, no, without
bringing up.
No, I'm just reading the reviews of Fat Jack's Comicrypt on Yelp.
Oh, nice. Have you gotten to the communist stuff? If they ever mention anybody with long hair that's not within the past year, they're talking about me.
No, but did you have a mohawk at one point?
No, Greg did. Greg.
All right.
No, that wasn't me. Hey, if anyone wants to leave a Yelp review about Fat Jack's Comicrypt, go for it.
You're right. Go right ahead.
Well, with that said, let's think about it. Is there anything? Go Birds, Eagles tomorrow night. Going up against the Washington Commies. Here's hoping.
I need this win.
Zainin, I know you might be watching this after the fact. Text me your song suggestion. We've never had a Latchkey Manifesto playlist without a Zainin song. Gary already he Instagrammed his song suggestion during the show, so it counts. I'm trying to think what else. Boom. Anybody need to promote anything? Anybody out there in the chat right now that's you got a band that's playing? You got a book that's coming out? You want to promote your Instagram? I don't know. Is everyone loving the slow deterioration and implosion of Twitter?
Oh, thank God.
Because, man, that's funny.
I am loving it. Every second I've had it, I'm just like,
what an absolute,
he's an
absolute douche.
I need to sign up for Mastodon, but every time I do, I just start listening to Mastodon.
Wait. What's Mastodon?
It's the new Twitter.
But is it like?
No, it's actually it's closer to Discord meets Twitter.
Okay.
So you join a server of like-minded people, but you can see people who exist on other servers. Yeah. It's super complicated. But the answer is listen to Mastodon.
Dude, Mastodon.
I know the band.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
No, we're talking about listen to a Mastodon. Yeah.
I thought you used a Discord channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about the band.
Oh, okay.
The band, Jason.
Right.
The band.
I'm just happy Twitter's burning. I love. You know what?
I'm not mad at it.
Just so you know, it's your tax dollars burning too.
Mr. McClane. On that note, John McClane comes in hot, guns a-blazing. Yeah, hey, Dave, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out when it isn't a bunch of white men trying to debate it. But let's go out on a funner note.
We'll get Duke back here.
You know what? We will one day have to create all of our Red Wave life jackets or surfboards. We'll need to get our Red Wave surfboards.
It was Red Wave. A lot of women voted.
Yeah, it was like a pink splash in my face. It was like cranberry juice dribbling down my chin. You know, again, I don't want to crow too much because I'm still scared. I'm scared. I won't deny it. I'm scared. Logic and reason. But now we're just babbling. So with that said, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for everybody who's claimed books. Thank you so much for Mike for showing up with a bunch of books that I was very excited to try to sell, even though I sold 2 of them. They kind of made up for. And hey, man, this secret buyer who's already inquiring about the bone, don't worry, Mike. I think we got him on the hook. We just got to figure out how much we want to take him to the cleaners. Yeah. But with that,
you put it that way.
All joking aside, please, love you guys. I look forward to hanging out with you again next week. This is always an absolute blast. This will be the show before Thanksgiving, so then we can all be thankful for stuff.
Oh, you do a show? Wait, next week isn't Thanksgiving.
No, but it'll be the show pre-Thanksgiving.
So
we can all be thankful leading up to Thanksgiving. Okay. We can be thankful for. I'm thankful for you.
No, thank you.
You know, hanging out here. I'm thankful for everyone who watches and validates my existence.
Yes.
And you know, make sure that Mike doesn't pull the plug on me because you know we got something going. I guess you know with the 5 people who watch.
Is this life support right now? You just look at every time you glaze over. He's got his hand on that plug. I'm gonna pull it.
Probably. There are some times he's like, oh, he's talking about the 16th again.
Somebody else came in the room. All right, I can't
Jason keeps dropping F-bombs.
No, that's Kyle.
I don't know, but my trigger finger's getting itchy here.
There you go. All right, Kyle. So last but not least,
Kyle's got to poop.
Let us say the most important thing that needs to be said. Go Birds! Yeah!
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.